10 o'clock, feeding for the guap. I be
Hey guys, it's Hannah. What's up? This feels like a very formal video, but it's not. I'm just going to be basically talking to you about my experience at Ryerson as a third year in fashion communications. I'm going to be showing you my initial portfolio. I'm also going to be having my brother come into this video for a little bit to talk about his portfolio. He just started fashion design. There's a lot of good shit that's going to be talked about in this video. Obviously, if you're a subscriber here, you know my book had to make an appearance in this video. I have jotted down some specific points I want to talk about. I want to just put it out there that this isn't going to be a very technical video. Obviously, you need to follow all the guidelines and make your portfolio according to those. I'm not going to like reiterate what's already online. I will link below all the portfolio requirements, but what I want to do is really offer you my personal experience in the program and kind of talk to you about things that I wish I knew going to the program, all that it entails, and also if you're maybe confused as to whether you want to do design or comm. Yeah, I want to start off by just saying hi. I feel like I always jump into my videos without being like, what's up? I hope you guys are having a good day. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I tend to upload a lot of day in the lives as well. So if you are interested in this program, if you want to check out some of my past day in the lives, I vlog like doing all kinds of different projects and a bunch of different shit for the program. Okay, I guess we're gonna get started with my experience at Ryerson, and it's like very nostalgic. Like, I'm like, is it emotional? Okay, it's not, I mean, it kind of is because my mom is an artist. Let's start off with that. I've always been in a very creative environment, whether I kind of recognized it or not. It definitely rubbed off on me. I used to want to be a gym teacher. Obviously, my interests have shifted largely, and now fashion is what I love. A lot of you may be in a situation where you don't have any prior experience in the arts or in fashion or anything that this program is about. That's completely fine. I did not go to an arts high school. If you are at a high school that specializes in photography or whatever you're doing, that's amazing because you can definitely use those skills to better your portfolio. But if you're like me and you went to a high school that literally had no fashion, wasn't even honey, I went to a uniform school, okay? Like, fashion was not on the radar for anyone. Don't think that because you don't have any prior experience that this program is a write-off. Like, that's definitely not the case. It's not like they start from a point where if you don't know the basics, you're just gonna be left behind. Everyone is at different points of their career. There's some people that start the program when they're like 26, when they've already finished one degree and realized, okay, like, fashion is what I've always wanted to do. I'm gonna actually pursue it now. There's people that come right out of high school like I did, so I was literally like 17 when I started the program. It's a completely mixed bag of people, of ages. Like, there's not one. I feel like people have a perception that like all fashion students are like this specific kind of person, and it's definitely not the case. And especially for a program like communications, it's so broad and it's basically everything fashion other than designing clothes. You're around so many different people. Everyone's like-minded in that they're creative, there to learn and want to better themselves. Okay, so now that that's right out of high school, I knew all I wanted to do was fashion communications. I heard about the program. I honestly don't even remember where, but as soon as I heard of the program, I was like, holy fuck, like, I don't want to do anything else. I went to the orientation with a couple friends, and I remember just standing there being like, oh my god, like, what if I don't get in? I applied to fashion communications, obviously, along with creative industries as my backup, which honestly, not really sure where that connected in my brain because creative industries, you need an even higher GPA. I did actually end up getting into creative industries before fashion, and I accepted it, and then I got into fashion later on. Yeah, so just to give you some insight, I knew this is the program I wanted to be in, and that was that. Depending on if you're applying for specifically fashion or maybe creative industries, which is kind of similar. I don't want to get too much into it because you're obviously watching this video for fashion, but for that program, I had to submit a letter of intent, and I wanted to just put an emphasis on when you're doing any sort of academic like letter of intent or an essay, still put your creativity at the forefront. So I think it was like a 250 word statement, and in that statement I literally remember saying, like, I remember when I received my first camera, which is what I'm filming on right now, and I legitimately said it was like creativity wrapped up with a bow, like some cringe shit like that, but it was really true to me at that time. And I feel like even though my GPA wasn't as high as some other people that I know that also applied, I got in because I really put an emphasis on my like creativity and how I wanted to be there, because that's really not something that you can teach, and they want people that have that regardless of their grades. So if your GPA is not on like the higher end of what you need, as long as you're putting a lot of effort into your portfolio and you're letter of intent. My first year was the last year that they had this setup for the first year of the program, which basically meant fashion design, fashion home students were in the exact same classes. You had to sew, you had to pattern draft, like there was no choice. Now they've changed it, so if you don't want to do that, if you're only interested in the communications courses, you don't have to spend time doing the pattern drafting, doing the sewing. With that being said, doing the sewing and doing the pattern drafting was one of the best things I've got out of the course because it pushed me so far out of my comfort zone. Like being expected, like low-key we were kind of expected to know how to sew. And pattern drafting, it was like learning a new language. I'm not even kidding, like I'm not good at math on top of all of that, so it was very, very stressful, but I have kind of like the best memories from being in a sewing lab with my friends being like, what the fuck is my life right now? This isn't even what I want to do, and all of us complaining about it, but then in the end, I love to sew now, and I never would have gotten those skills if I wasn't literally forced to do it. So I suggest, even if you're going in for comm, like challenge yourself with a sewing course and a pattern drafting course. Not only do you gain the skills, but you also gain a respect, and working alongside designers, it makes it easier to relate to them and actually understand like what goes into what they're doing, rather than having like a false perception of like what sewing is and what pattern drafting actually entails. Now looking back at my application, it's literally laughable. Like, honey, within a month of being in the program, I was like, holy fuck, like I got in with this. Like I don't even want to show it to you guys as like, do this, because don't. And I think that's how everyone should feel, because obviously your portfolio is the first thing, at least for me, it was literally the first thing I ever created. And yeah, it shows. So obviously I've evolved, and like, you know, that's the whole point. Whatever, you have to start somewhere. Depending on whether you're applying for comm or design, you choose from that list 3 things that you want to include in your portfolio. Honestly, they've changed now. That's why I'm getting my brother to show you his, because his is more up to date. But for mine, it was a styled outfit, a magazine cover, and then a brand logo. So I'll start off by showing you my styled outfit. This was probably my favorite piece of my portfolio. I think it's really cute to look back on it. I obviously styled this outfit, and then my mom's boyfriend photographed me in it. I put it in a little layout. I remember wanting to make the title plaid, the same as the hat, to match, but I didn't know how to do that on Photoshop. I was like really struggling. It made this on my mom's laptop, which was like a 2011 Mac. Now, obviously, I can be like, bitch, that's so easy, make a clipping Maz. But at the time, I didn't know that. So don't stress if you're not able to make your exact vision in your portfolio, because if you don't have the skills and if you haven't learned them prior, you will learn them in school, don't worry. If they can tell that you're a creative person, again, they will want you, because they cannot teach that. If you're watching this thinking, oh my god, this is the exact program I want to be in, like I want to do all of this stuff, you will, honestly. Even though my portfolio was not, you know, up to my current standards, I got in, and I feel like it's because it was obvious how badly I wanted it, especially in my letter of intent. And then the second piece of my portfolio was a Alexander Wang logo. Looking at this logo now, I'm like, holy fuck, Amanda, what the fuck? I think it's cute, honestly. I sent it to my friend Sydney the other day, and I was like, look what I just found on my computer. I did all of it on the trackpad. Like, honey, didn't have a weight comm board, didn't have anything. Definitely just like not really ideal for a logo. You shrink that shit, you can't even see what the hell it says. But I think it's cute, and then I put it on a business card. And then my third piece, like I was gonna lie and say that I didn't have it, but I'm gonna show you guys. So this was an event poster. It wasn't a magazine cover, it was an event poster. I decided to do a diversity poster. I'm not looking at these right now because they're on my mom's fucking laptop, and I don't know, I'm gonna find them to insert them, but I'm like doing this from memory. So it was a diversity poster, and I included all different sizes of models, and I wanted to include animals in it as well. And then Ryerson has like a diversity, took that and put it in, so it was like, this is taking place at the Ryerson like diversity hall. It's not a thing, but like what, I can't remember what it was. And that is like literally a disgrace. Like I honestly am like regretting already putting it in the video. I think they accept 90 people. During the orientation they had said 90 to like 100 people, I think, per year. So 90 for comm, 90 for design. It is such a community. Like you absolutely know everybody in your program. Even though we're doing online learning, obviously because of COVID, I get to FaceTime my fucking profs. Like I literally talk to them all the time, text them. It's definitely very like community based, which I know a lot of my friends in university, especially business programs that are a lot larger, they don't have that connection. And it's also different with meeting people because you're in labs where you're actually working like hands-on. So it's so easy to be like, oh, do you know how to do this? And then instant connection, boo, like you're friends. So many cool people in my program that I would love to connect further with and also work with. Another thing, in Canada, the fashion industry is fucking zero. It's basically non-existent. All the people that are in your program you're gonna be working alongside. I'm gonna mention this before I hop into the other topic, but I know a lot of people are like, if you're saying like, if you have it in you, the vision and all that, like why do I have to go to school? Can't I just teach myself whatever it is you're doing in school? And like honestly the answer is yes, if you are a sergeant, okay? Like the projects that we do, they're not always enjoyable. So many technicalities, especially if you're interested in graphic design and type. There's obviously exceptions, like if you have a clear vision and you want to be a photographer, practice your skill, develop a portfolio, and you're on your way, you know? But someone like me who is like, okay, I want to be in fashion, I don't know exactly what I want to do, fashion communications offers you a range of different courses to get your feet wet in every single area. First year, as I said, sewing, pattern drafting, things I never would have done if I didn't do the program, art history, photography, art direction. Third year, you get to choose if you want to do either typography or product promotion. Every single year that passes, it basically caters more to what you want. You choose from a list of available courses. I will link in the description the website that has like semester 1, 2, 3, all through 8 with all of the courses and then like the options for those courses so you guys can kind of see what exactly the courses are. Huge emphasis on the fact that you get to try out everything. You just gain a general knowledge. I think a huge misconception in fashion school, you learn like how to style outfits, how to wear clothes. That is something so personal. You're not gonna ever learn how to put a certain outfit together. And as I said, like no one in the program has the same style. I literally know people who have told me like they don't even fucking care about fashion, like they just want to gain the skills to apply to something else. Another thing is the professors are literally amazing. I've learned from every single one of them. I've never really felt like they're grading based off of their own specific style. It's very fair. They're definitely pretty strict and like hard on you, but you need that. Another thing with why you would go to school is because you need the critique from someone who knows what they're doing, you know? Like it's really easy to look at your own work and be like, holy fuck, I did it again, bitch, like amazing. And then you take it to your prof and they're like, this is garbage. They don't say that, but like, you know what I mean? Another quick thing I wanted to mention is the option for exchange in third year. I was supposed to go, crying, in February to Amsterdam on exchange to Amphi. I chose this program largely because of the exchange program. I think it's such an amazing opportunity to travel abroad for like 6 months, live in that country, studying at their school. So the connections you would build there, like networking, also things in your portfolio that people studying at Ryerson would not have. If you're interested in studying abroad, this is an amazing, amazing program for that. It is pretty competitive to get into exchange, but again, as I said, if you want it, bitch, you're gonna get it. Like, don't even doubt that. I did post on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's 90monka. If you guys had any specific questions, I've also been getting a ton of DMs from you guys asking about the program, and that's why I want to make this video, so I can just be like, yep, I've already answered that, check out the video. But I love when you guys like DM me asking questions, because like that's why I'm uploading this content. This is all shit I wish I knew when I was, you know, starting the program. I would be way more confident as to whether or not I wanted to be in the program. So I hope that I can like offer you the same thing. So one person asked, is it fun? What do you get to do? And definitely check out my day in the life videos if you want to see the exact projects, but it's definitely very fun. At times it can seem like hell. But in the end, it's always so rewarding to have a piece that you can add to your portfolio. What's the workload like? And is it a school you'd recommend? LOL, love your channel. The workload's fucked. Like in first year, as I said, they've changed it, but it's like if you ask anyone that was in my year or any years prior how their first year experience was, it's fucking crazy. Especially, as I said, we had to sew and pattern draft and stuff, which definitely was not everyone's element. So that added hours and hours on top of everything else. Honestly, if I had to do that first year again, I don't know if I could. It was crazy. But the workload's definitely manageable if you have a schedule and you're time managing yourself. I'm not joking, like this shit isn't a joke. Like everything I do is constantly being highlighted and checked off. If you don't have that system, I definitely don't think that you would be as successful in the program, just because there's a lot of shit. Like for example, my semester right now is 7 courses. So the average course number is like 5, and for fashion it's always 6. Minimum is literally 6. So the workload is a lot, but it's not a lot in that it's not doable and that it's bad. It's great. I love it. Okay. Someone said, what would you do differently about the past 3 years if you could do it again? And also that was my friend Amuna. And like someone said, it's Muna, hi. But what I would do differently, honestly, I think I've pretty much done all that I've aspired to do in the program. A huge thing, which I also wanted to mention them now, just remembering, is this program is not a program that grades are as important as the actual work itself. Whatever grade you get, like that's fine, great, whatever, it means your professor approved it. But what's way more important is actually gaining the skills. So if you're just doing shit to get by or doing it really fast and not to the best of your ability, like what you're gaining from the program is pretty much nothing. You're gonna finish all 4 years and then look at your portfolio and be like, okay, what the fuck? So you're paying to get helped, to get critiqued, but as I said, like if you're not on a schedule and you're not producing the best work you can, you're not gonna get what you need out of the program to start and like launch your career. It comes down to a lot of self-discipline and just being motivated and in the program for the right reasons. Like it's not a program that you're just gonna be like, okay, like I'll just like get by. There's no point. You're literally just wasting your time because you may just get by, but in the long run you're doing it absolutely nothing beneficial for yourself, because I've had that mindset all 3 years of school. So I don't know if there's anything I would change, maybe just like working a bit harder on some shit, but like I feel like anyone would say that. Do your professors help you find a job within the fashion industry after you graduate? I think a lot of people rely on internships. So as an example, I did start an internship last year for a startup called Odessu, which is basically a sizing tool to help women get the correct clothing size they need when online shopping. And I met amazing people, and he actually texted me like 3 days ago wanting to reconnect about me working there paid this coming year. So you definitely form connections through internships. Professors aren't gonna hold your hand. Like as I said, it's about your portfolio and like you putting the work in. Fashion and any sort of like, I don't want to say freelance, but like artist, because you definitely don't have to do freelance from this program, but like any sort of thing where you're relying on your own skills, like you have to put yourself out there. You have to be thirsty for work. Like you can't just be like, okay, like I'm gonna do the program and then my professor's gonna help me get a job. Like no, like that's definitely not what's gonna happen. Best design related course you've taken. This is a girl, Michaela. I know she's at Ryerson as well. I took a Photoshopped course this semester and it was honestly really good. Like I learned really basic things about Photoshop that just like helped my workflow a lot. So if you can take Photoshopped, that was a really good course. Best elective in general, if you're in any program, is critical thinking. If you've never taken critical thinking, add that to your cart, honey, and check out, because it is such a good elective. I learned so much in that elective that I applied also to my specific program and just my life in general. Super applicable. A lot of electives you're just memorizing and then you forget. This is a course that you learn stuff that you apply to your life immediately, and it really is a beneficial elective. I'm not gonna answer any more questions because I do want my brother to show his portfolio, and this video is so long. Like I've been filming for over 30 minutes. Okay, so this is my brother, Tom. As I said, he is in first year of fashion design at Ryerson. He's gonna tell you about his portfolio and just some like little tips.
Yeah, so the first one I did was a sewn garment. Have a little picture here, we'll put up on screen.
I'll insert a photo of it.
So basically, I did sewn garment because I have sewing experience in the past. For your portfolio, you wanna just focus on stuff that you already like have experience doing and like are good at doing, because it obviously makes you look better when you're applying to Ryerson. I made a pair of pants with zippers and stuff.
That was your first pair of pants, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
so this is like one of the first pair of pants, and then Amanda modeled it. Second option I did was being in a fashion event like before Ryerson. Before COVID, obviously, we were trying to have a fashion show at our high school.
That he literally organized the whole thing.
Yeah, so I organized the whole thing, and I had already designed one look and then had posters ready for the show. But of course, it was scheduled to be in April, so it didn't end up happening. But definitely I would suggest, if you're, say, in high school or in a school where there are opportunities to have a fashion show or have something to do with fashion that would give you experience before entering Ryerson, that's like a great idea to do, just to give you experience, and of course it's like super fun to do with your friends.
So for your portfolio piece, you also had to write something, didn't you, about your experience?
Yeah, for the sewn garment, and for every requirement you have to write a little description like about it. I just kind of wrote, obviously, that we were trying to have it, COVID happened and stuff, but then also that I made like the patchwork jacket, which is like talking about sustainability and stuff. You also really want to basically, in a way, just tell the school what they kind of want to hear.
Yeah, I feel like sustainability, mention it in everything
Yeah,
you
literally.
do. Like, that's what fashion is now. Like, if you talk about don't include fast fashion shit in any of your...
Yeah, like if you're styling an outfit, don't, like, and if you do use H&M or whatever, like fast fashion.
Lie.
Yeah.
Be like, this is vintage.
No, yeah, or just be like, it's a black t-shirt, I don't know where I got it, whatever.
Yeah.
Just because, like, they'll definitely take notice.
They won't not accept you if you include something that's like fast fashion, but like, it just shows that you're already like, you know, in line with what the industry is and like with what is kind of happening, and that fast fashion is like not what you want to support. Okay, and then this one.
And then so the third one I chose was a magazine layout. So I also sewed this suit. I wanted to show that like I know how to sew and stuff, but I feel like sewing a suit is one of like the hardest things to sew. So I wanted to like really emphasize that I really like sewing and like want to get into Ryerson.
Yeah, so everything that he did for his portfolio, he included the fact that he can sew. Like, even if it's just a styled outfit, if you're applying for design, like, you might as well include something that you've made. So it's just like that extra little, like, hey, like, I'm here, bitch, you know? For your essay, do you remember what your topic was, really? Because I had to do a letter of intent, but it's switched to an essay now.
No, it was a letter of intent.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, yeah.
You just had to talk about something?
Yeah, so then I talked about sustainability and stuff and how I was doing, like, natural dyeing and using vintage fur jackets and stuff, which also obviously ties into sustainability. So again, it's really just like kind of telling them what they want to hear in a way.
And what you believe too.
Yeah, and what you believe. Like, obviously it sounds
yeah.
bad saying that.
Yeah.
But if you're interested in it, that's like 100 like bonus.
100 bonus
yeah.
food.
Also talking about like tote bags and stuff I've made, just giving context. So like I feel like adding photos and stuff.
But you were able to submit the photos because you did the like, was that a thing? Like, you can submit photos for your letter of intent? Because for mine, because don't submit extra shit.
Yeah.
Do not submit extra shit that's not required because they won't look at it and they're going to be like, you're not even following our simple instructions.
Oh, okay, so no, sorry. So the tote bags and the plastic pants that I made, where it was called the Sustainability Journey or something like that. And it's just talking about, like, what you do to be sustainable, like, your journey of being sustainable. So then I added those photos to give context to what I was talking about because that was a like writing piece, I believe.
Yeah, I remember you doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely don't like submit things that they're not asking for because they don't want to see that. Yeah.
With anything that you do put into your portfolio, just be passionate about it and like just give it 100%. They obviously take notice to like everything that you've done with your portfolio and it's what you really want to.
Yeah. I also said like, if you really want to be in the program, like you will get into the program.
Yeah.
Like if you put the work in and you're passionate about it, it's really easy to tell through your portfolio and through
100%.
your letter of intent. So like don't stress if you're like worried about not getting in. I said that I remember being in like the orientation hearing about everything and being like, holy fuck, like if I don't get into this program, like I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? Like I wanted it so badly. And if you want something that badly, like you will get it. You just have to put the work in. That's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something new. I'm trying to convince Tom to make a YouTube channel. Follow his Instagram, I'll link it in the description box below. Your personal Instagram as well as his actual brand, Scaling Studios, which I have featured some of his bags in my outfit videos in the past. So check that out as well. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! Say bye!
Bye guys.
Bye.